All right, in lesson 11.4, we combine it with lesson 11.2 because we're finding volume of now prisms and cylinders, where before we did surface area and volume. All right, so the two formulas. The volume is going to be the area of the base times the height. So whatever base it is, if it's a rectangular prism, the base times the height. Now in a rectangular prism, you can also use, if you get confused on which one is your base, and this only works for rectangular prism, you can use length times width times height, which would be length, width, height, or however you look at it and it's oriented to you. Triangular prism, area of the base, that's going to be, once again, finding the area of the base here would be a triangle, 1/2 base times the height, which is distance in between your bases. In a cylinder, it is once again area of the base times the height, but the area of the base is the circle, so it's pi r squared times the height. Now, we will not use 3.14 for pi, we're going to use the pi button in our calculator. Okay, so take a look at this first one here. Now the first thing you have to do in a rectangular prism is to choose your base. So we're going to choose the end here. So we're going to write down our formula. Volume is equal to area of the base times the height. Area of the base, in this case here, we're going to have 12 times 4, base times height. So 12 times 4, and the height was going to be 10. 12 times 4 is going to give us 48. And times 10 here, so volume is equal to 48 times 10, which is 480. This would be units cubed. Volume is up, remember, is units cubed, so here we have 480 units cubed. If they don't give you the units, it would just be like this. If it's millimeters, it'd be millimeters cubed. So let's take a look at a triangular prism. Volume is equal to area of the base times the height, and the base in this problem is going to be 1/2 base times height. So we're looking at our triangular face. We have 12 and 8, so my base in this is going to be 12. My height of my base is 8. So area of the base is 1/2 12 times 8. So we get half of 12 is 6. 6 times 8 is going to give us 48. So that is the area of the base. Now, this problem right here, we have the height, which is the height of the prism, not the height of the triangular base. That is going to be 13. So the volume is going to be 48 times 13, and that's going to give us the volume of 624 cubic units. All right, so let's take a look at example 3, a cylinder. So we have the volume is equal to pi r squared h, so we need to identify our radius and our height. Radius is 2, height is 4, so volume is equal to pi times our radius, 2 squared times 4. So this gives us 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16, so we get 16 pi units cubed. All right, so we've kind of showed you one of each type here. I want you to work example 4, example 5, and example 6. And then come back and we'll see how you did. All right, so let's see how you did. To find the area of the base, it's a rectangular prism, so we're going to have a rectangular base. So we take 7 times 9, 63, and the height, the distance between the front and the back would be 14, so that's our height of our prism. 63 times 14 is 882, and that's units cubed. In example 5, we have a triangle, so we're going to have base of 12, height of 17, and what did not show up here was a right angle, so that is a right angle here. So to find the area of this is 1/2 of 12 times 17, which is going to give us 102. The height of our prism is the distance in between, which is going to be 3. And so 102 times 3 gives us 306 cubic units. And then the last one. Example 6. Give us the radius of 3, a height of 20. The distance between my two circular bases is 20. So plug it in. Pi times 3 squared times 20 gives us 9 times 20 pi, which gives us 180 pi units cubed. So, and then the next part is round to the nearest tenth, which means we're going to get 565.5 cubic units. All right, let's go to the last one. What is the approximate area of a bullnose aquarium to the nearest cubic inch? So there's a couple ways you could do this. You could break this up into a rectangular prism and half of a cylinder. We got half a cylinder here. We got a rectangular prism over here. Or you could find the area of the base, like we've done on the other ones, find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. So the shape of our base in this problem is a rectangular prism, or rectangle. So we're going to draw the rectangle here. And now, put a circle on the end. Kind of guess somewhere in the middle here, and hopefully it'll get fairly close to it so you can kind of see what it should look like. So all we have is this part right here, half a circle. This part is not here. And we have this distance here is 24. We know that the full distance here is 48. Now 48 goes from this point here all the way to this point here. So we've got to figure out what is the distance from here to here. So we can break this up. So we can find the area of the rectangle and the area of the half circle. So one thing you have to recognize is 24 is distance across. Well, this is the distance across the circle, which means this is going to be a diameter, which means the distance between here and here is 12. So the distance between here and the end of the circle would also be 12. So that means that this here, we're going to take 48 minus 12, which gives us 36 is the distance from here all the way to here. So that is the side length of our rectangle. So to find the area of the rectangle, we're going to take 36 times 24. 36 times 24 is going to give us 864. So this area right here is 864. Now we're going to find the area of the half a circle. So that's going to be finding the area of the circle and then divide it by 2. So pi r squared divided by 2. Radius is going to be 12, so 144 pi over 2. So because we are going to have to calculate this value and round off, okay, because we have to add these two together, we're going to go to about 4 decimal places. So this becomes 226.1947. So to show you how that works, we'll put it in our calculator. 12 squared was 144, so that gives us 144 divided by 2. That's going to give us 72, and then we're going to multiply that by, so times pi equals 226.1947. So the 6 rounds up to 7. So now the next step, we're going to add this 2, so we're going to say plus the 864. And that's going to give us the area of our base to be 1090.1947. So we're going to add the 864 plus the 226.1947. So the area of the base is 1090.1947. So now we take the height of our prism, which is 24, and we're going to multiply them together. So we'll do the volume here. Volume is equal to 1090.1947 times 24. And that's going to give us, round to the nearest cubic inch, the volume will end up being approximately 26,165 cubic inches. All right, so that concludes our lesson 11.4 on volume of prisms and cylinders.